Good morning, everybody, good evening, and good afternoon, and presumably good night if that is the time of day. The internet travels across the world, as do other things, and we're all caught up in it together, so it's fantastic to be able to look at some stamps and to show you what I've done since yesterday when I received, amongst other things, this Royal Mail stock book from Morphy with some stamps in there. So what I've done is I've taken the Christmas and the sports stamps from here, and I've started to move some of my stamps from well, you'll see anyway. I can't even speak. So what have we got going on here? Well, we've got a bit of a queue forming. Stamp collecting is fun, male and female, and we've got a man with a letter, presumably. He's at the post office. The lights are on. Yeah. And he wants a second class stamp, and he's been told that 68p for the stamp, plus VAT, plus 17.5% tariff, plus local taxes. I exaggerate slightly, but you know what I mean, don't you? It's not easy to buy a stamp today anyway. And it's becoming more and more expensive, which may or may not hurt the hobby. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, by the way, they keep their pens on a string. In case you steal them. They cost a penny. Righty-ho. So what have I started with this lovely Royal Mail stockbook? Well, as you can see, I've started with Germany. I'm going to dedicate Germany. Not modern day Germany, not even Bundesrepublik of Germany, but those times when it was a little bit difficult. There was a lot of stuff going on, and it was pretty difficult, wasn't it, what the world was going through at the time. So I thought that would be a good time to collect because, well, it's part of history, it's part of the past that we must not forget. But also it's an interesting time to see how a huge country which has dominated the centre of Europe for centuries has been associated with wars in Europe. I mean, why is Europe trying to wipe itself out? Why? What do you think is replacing Europe if we wipe each other out? I don't know. We had the Franco-Prussian War. We then had the First World War. We then had the Second World War. Then we had the Cold War. And now we've got the tariff war. We don't know what's round the corner. So I thought it would be interesting to collect stamps from that era. And this is the first set that I started to put in. It's the Russian occupied zone Germany 1948. I have got a DDR collection going on. So when the Russians presumably moved out to give power back to local East German officialdom bureaucracy, that involves another set. But in the meantime, Checkpoint Charlie and all that sort of stuff, presumably straight after the war, we've got stamps that are being issued, and I thought it would be nice to get some Russian occupation zone Germany stamps, which I've got. So we'll just have a look at one or two. They do involve characters, people. Kollwitz, for example. No idea who he is. If you have any idea who these people are, you may or may not want to leave a comment. I've done no research on these because I've been drowning in stamps basically, and it all takes a little bit of time, and I like to do a video a day, and can I actually get this one? You know what, it's in such a thin way, this stamp. It's been through the mill. It's in no way is it a mincer. Is there anybody here that we recognise? Maybe a man with a beard. You can't be. I'll try not to destroy it. You cannot beat a man with a beard. They become recognisable. If you want to get ahead, get a beard, not a hat. Here we have Karl Marx. Did he die in London? I think he probably did. Did he live in London? I think he may have done. I think he may have been a victim of Imperial Russia, and that's why this huge communist, icon of the Communist Party, was living overseas, France and then I believe Britain. Also Jewish, so he had a lot of stuff going on in his life. Difficult days, but everyone's heard of Karl Marx. They even named a city after him. I don't know which city though. Karl Marx Stadt it was called. Any others here? That well, we look at 16 there, and here he appears again on the 25. Yeah, so we got people. Here we have Karl again, popping up on the 50, and somebody else there. Let's just have a look at the. I don't know. We'll have a look at the 40, just in case I may know who it is. Gerhard Hauptmann. Don't know who he is. Presumably he's a big old communist, and that's why he's allowed his own stamp. So we put that back, I hope, without too much damage. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm using these today. I'm trying not to upset people by using my fingers. So also Russian occupation zone, I found these little beauties. Particularly this one I like. Can I get it out? Sovietcher Besatzungs zone. So we actually got the overprint there on that stamp. That's nice, isn't it? We've got to be careful with all these stamps though, because there are a lot of fakes apparently, which doesn't worry me because, you know, I've paid fraction of pennies in the pound for these, because when you get a big old stock coming in, you know, it's you know, you dilute the price, and yeah. So I haven't really investigated whether they're fake or fib. AI did ask if I wanted to check them, because it was AI that alerted me, along with other people, that there are a lot of fakes. Here's another Soviet overprint. This is an 80 Pfennig. Put that back. We'll put it there for now. So I can get up. I'm not spending all this time. And here we have apparently another Russian occupied zone stamp. Saxon, so Saxony. Vida Aufrau. I think we have looked at this stamp before, because it's a 6+4, and the 4 was towards the reconstruction of the town, or indeed the province of Saxony, which was destroyed by the Russians. So yes, that we have seen before. Right, next, time is running out. Saar overprint 1920s. Now these are, there are two sets. There's one post First World War, and these are what these are on the Germania stamps. So we get one out here. So you can see Saar. Now Saar in German is S-A-A-R. But Saar in French, and this has been a disputed territory, is spelled S-A-R-R-E. So they immediately put their own spelling on this Germania stamp. These stamps were around 1920, I think. Certainly after the First World War, when that area was under the governance of France, well, the League of Nations, I should say, for 15 years. I think that was the decision, that we were going to 15 years. Now here we have Saar, again overprint, and a nice date, 5th of the 3rd, 20. But we also have the place, Saint-Louis. That's a nice council, isn't it? It's quite nice, that. I like that. I love a council because it adds a little bit more. Yeah. So that's the first page. And then we'll turn over. We go into more dangerous times. So keeping the peace on that page, but this is really war stamps from Germany. The Flying Eagle there, Zeppelin. Not sure what that is. It's an aeroplane. I think it might be 1936. Anyway, so it's just pre-war. That's a propaganda stamp. These were definitive. So there's millions of these. Of course, people are not sort of showing them off, but rest assured there are millions of them. So some nice stamps here. That's a nice stamp. Swastika stamp there with an eagle on it. Here we have a character from the Second World War. He had a lot of stamps done for him. We've got more here. What's this here? Something to do with them. And I managed to find this, well, a group of them actually, in a stamp fair, 20 years ago now. It was a birthday celebratory council of the leader in Graz, and I think he was born around Graz, I'm not sure, Austria anyway. Wartime stamps, war type also, look at that. People, aeroplanes, and again a bit of a double going on there, a pair. So we hurriedly move on to the next page. So here we're into the Rhineland, which is actually the French zone of occupation from 1947 to 49. I've got one of those only. Rhineland Pfalz. And he looks a bit Beethoven-y to me. In a bad mood or thoughtful mood. And I think we're heading to that finally moment. And yes, the UK, well, the US and the Brits, in perfect harmony, were sharing out part of Berlin and part of Germany for their occupation. These are particular AM Post. I think that's American. I think the AM Post stands for American Post. I think. I ain't sure. These apparently are also, so they're not printing over Britain or Union flags or anything like the Russians may have done early doors. They're at least leaving the German culture alone. And then we go into 1949, so we're back to Saar again. So, having handed it back to Germany after 15 years, after the First World War, it all gets handed over back to France again at the end of the Second World War. So this is the occupied zone, and we have a number of different type stamps that were produced at the time for Saar. Let's get this one out. There. Again, it's manufacturing, it's focusing on work, on the common man doing his bit to rebuild after a difficult time. So there we have it. It's the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning, or the end of the end, or the beginning of the beginning. Who knows? Enough Churchill and more fun. Remember, stamp collecting is fun. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. I'm running out of breath now. My sinuses are bad. It's a beautiful day, though. It's the warmest day of the year, I would say, today. I may be getting my shorts and t-shirt on and sitting out. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye, everybody.